A lot has been said about the She-Ra reboot. First of all, why have they changed it so much? What was wrong with the original? Well, to quote a certain critic about a similar show,
because at that particular moment in time, once in a while, the weird alchemy of strong, eye-catchy designs meant to stand down on toy store racks, always imitate Star Wars studio mandates, dirt cheap, constantly recycled stock animation, toy company marketing departments with dubious narrative oversight, slumming voice actors with almost no idea of or interest in what they were saying, and starving workaday genre screenwriters cranking out material in sweatshop conditions was occasionally the alchemy that accidentally produced something weird and or memorable, if not technically good in any conventional sense, unless we're talking about, like, the background painters. Those guys usually did good work. Keep in mind, most people remember maybe 10 to 15 tops of the largely interchangeable shows from that era in any kind of detail, and there were a lot more of them.
Then it's followed by, you realize the original was a spin-off, right? Why not bring in He-Man? The answer to that, to quote a British YouTube animator,
"We learned that this series got old, just like you. Now will you kindly f*** off?"
Oh.
And finally there's, the originals were unintentionally homoerotic, is the new one the same? The answer is yes, but it's intentional this time around. The team around showrunner Noelle Stevenson has made that obvious. And to reference a French YouTube critic, which brings us to one of the fandom's favorite characters, the Catgirl / budding antagonist Catra. First of all, see the black screen? That should demonstrate that no one gives a damn about her counterpart in the original. But more importantly, Catra provides us with an example of one siding with the forces of evil, but in a morally complicated way. On the surface, doesn't seem to help that she's not a very proactive character, at first. She's a lackadaisical cadet within the Horde, content with having a door and keeping her head down. Thanks to what we see from Shadow Weaver, she has a very good reason to do the latter. But after the two of them sneak out after a training session, they get separated. That is where Adora discovers the sword, glimmer, bow, and the true nature of the Horde. She switches sides surprisingly soon.
Got really bright. Are you brain damaged? Don't be brain damaged. Oh.
Because of this, Catra's status quo is shattered overnight. Best friend / potential love interest? Gone, with no logical reason for her sudden shift. And when Adora explains the war crimes of the Horde, we learn something surprising about Catra.
They've been lying to us, manipulating us, Hordak, Shadow Weaver, all of them. Duh! Did you just figure that out? Manipulation is Shadow Weaver's whole thing. She's been messing with our heads since we were kids.
She has always known about their faction's true nature, and the propaganda machine that convinced Adora for so long. Ultimately, Catra hasn't considered the situation beyond the fright zone. She's certainly more concerned with her place in the Horde, with proving she can handle big beasts like Hordak and Shadow Weaver. Despite knowing the Horde's darker nature, especially with Shadow Weaver, Catra genuinely believes the party line about the princesses being agents of chaos and disorder. The old question of order versus chaos had been raised in her mind. Catra chose order, even if it came in the form of those who hurt her. Plus, Hordak giving her the promotion reserved for Adora sweetened the deal. It didn't matter to her that her superior changed from a wicked stepmother to a big brother. Besides, we eventually learned there was no way Adora's defection could have been a clean break. Even if Catra came along, the Horde had raised them, had fed them, had clothed them. The Horde had also abused Catra, even as Adora tried to soften the harshest blows. So when Adora defected with nary a word, it cut deep for Catra. What twisted the knife even further is that Catra could care less about anyone else in the Horde, and vice versa. Adora was her reason for staying, but it wasn't enough to overcome her terror at the thought of Shadow Weaver's retribution. But now she has a semblance of power. It allows her to express long-buried feelings of resentment for her former comrade.
Catra, how did you find me? Did you think you would be that
which leads to the confrontation the fans really remember, which was at the Princess Prom. Throughout the episode, Catra and Adora engage in a duel of passive aggressiveness that is best represented by their dance together. In doing so, it shows their borrowed conversations, portraying a good deal of complex emotions and okay, this has been a lot of humorless character analysis. Why don't we spice it up with some quick jokes about this moment?
Thought I was going to be eating with Abby, so then there's no candlelight.
And that we're not paranoid homophobes.
So I said to the waiter, I said, "What's this fly doing in my alphabet soup?" And he said, "Standing in for the apostrophe."
I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
Maybe my plan won't work, but then again, maybe it already has.
Then they bang hard.
Maybe my plan won't work, but then again, maybe it already has. Glenn, you're the best.
Which leads the viewers into wondering where it goes from Season 1. Catra is now second in command to Hordak, having gained what she wanted in the Horde. So now what? What will the show do then, now that her agency is shifted to the background? Adding to the equation is the cast and crew's efforts to remain tight-lipped about any future spoilers. So, like several shows of this vein, the fandom has filled in the gaps. Go to places like the Shiromino and Tumblr, and you'll see plenty of fan analysis and shipping. In both places, somewhere from a plurality to an outright majority of the fans ship Catra and Adora together. For them, they are really hoping for Catra to have a redemption arc, to summon the resolve her former comrade / only friend expressed so easily. Often, this is combined with some hesitation about whatever path the show will go next season. And so, for all the Catra-Adora shippers out there, those who've spent countless amounts of energy into fan art and fan fiction, allow me to quote some poetry for you to keep in mind. When daylight comes in the light. In front the sun climbs slow, how slowly. But westward look, the land is bright. Hold on to the art you've created of them. No one can truly take it from you.